And we back. Ooh, we back. And we back. Bro. What's up, son?
Not much. Just watched one of the most intense movies I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, man. Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, that shit. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Is I knew everything that was gonna happen, and I still cried my eyes out. I bawled in this movie.
Yeah,
I
man.
cried. You know what got me is after after Ricky got shot, and then Cuba Gooding Jr. is leaving the house, and his girl comes up to him and is like, "What happened to Ricky? What happened to Ricky?" And then I was like, "Oh, I lost it then. I lost it then." I was holding it together. I was holding it together.
And then you lost it. You lost it when Brandy, because he was walking across the street all bloodied up.
All bloodied because he was ready to go. He had just told Doughboy, "Hey, we're about to
Five minutes, meet me at my house.
Yeah, we're about to
5
roll out
minutes.
and kill some people."
We're finna kill some niggas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. That shit was really intense. The mom scene is what made me cry. What's the first thing that made you cry?
I mean, it was that really. I cry during movies, but it takes a lot. And I think for me it was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did you what else did I not hit?
Okay. So the first part, it starts with like what 25% or 1 in 5 black men
One
get
out
killed.
of every 21
1 out of every 21 black men.
get murdered in their lifetime, which I always thought was a weird way to word it.
Yeah. It's also intense because it starts with a drive-by shooting in the background of that.
Yeah.
So you're in this like
World
already. You're just in it. What was interesting to me is that at the beginning with the whole teacher scene, when the teacher, that white teacher is talking,
Yeah.
she really isn't connecting or even trying to connect with the kids.
No, she's just racist as
Yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's like, oh man, you're just here to like be like, okay, I got X amount of people to take a test. You're here to like fill in the boxes and fill the numbers, but you don't actually care about the kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. It's like no one's even giving a shit from the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? Like Trey is lucky because he has a dad, but if he didn't, he was just kind of fucked.
Yeah.
If he had no one to really show him the way, he was just kind of fucked.
Yeah.
From the beginning, there's no teacher that gave a shit. I thought that was interesting. His dad's name is Furious Styles.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah. You completely neglected to mention that. You just called him Lawrence Fishburne. Like, that was cooler than Furious Styles.
Well, I forgot. Yeah, but his name is Furious.
Yeah, his name is Furious. He's a Muslim dude.
He's Muslim.
Yeah,
Don't eat pork. They mentioned that.
They mentioned that.
It's a little subtle little drop, you know.
Yeah, they don't really like harp on it, but like, hey, yeah, he's like a Muslim dude. I also liked Doughboy's friends.
Yeah, Monster and Dookie.
Yeah. Dookie has a pacifier in his mouth the entire time.
I forgot.
The entire time.
Because I got lost when they were talking about Dookie getting AIDS from dope heads in the beginning.
I forgot he was getting his dick sucked by dope heads.
Yeah, and they were like, come on, you got to stop that. He was like, hey, come on, get back up.
And you're like, that's how you get AIDS. He's like, oh my God, is it? Yeah.
With his pacifier in his mouth.
Pacifier in his mouth. But here's my favorite scene with Dookie, right? So this is right before Ricky gets shot, right? This is like right before Ricky gets shot, right? And Dookie, the red car makes that first pass at them.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh yeah, and then Doughboy's like, they're not gonna do anything, right?
Yeah.
And so the red car makes a pass at them. They all stand up. They bring Chris from his wheelchair onto the stoop.
Yeah, on the stoop.
Bring him on the stoop, right? So they sit down after the car passes, and there's a quick little scene where Dookie offers Trey his pacifier. And Trey goes, no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's real. Dookie hands his pacifier over to Trey, like, hey, you want this? And Trey's like, no. And then Ricky gets shot. That's pretty much the sequence of events.
Dookie's funny as hell.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
That's really funny.
To be like, nigga, I know you want to hit this. Yeah. I know you want to suck on this pacifier. Yo, that's so funny. How did I miss? I've seen the movie a jillion times. Never noticed that.
It's a small little thing.
That's really funny though.
It made me laugh very hard. It had to have been
no way
improvised.
though. Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way that's in the script. Yeah, it was so small. It was so real.
Also for Trey to be like,
yeah,
I'm good. Thank you.
But the way Trey said no was like, oh, he offers this to me all the time, and I say no all the time. It's almost like
a running bit.
Yeah, it's almost like a running bit that they have with each other.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, that was real funny. I knew you didn't notice that one.
Yeah. Didn't you say you thought Cuba Gooding was the best?
I thought Cuba Gooding was the best actor in the movie.
He does kill it.
I really do. I mean, Ice Cube is great, Lawrence Fishburne's great. Morris Chestnut's all right. But
You know, he just doesn't. He is kind of a simple character. He's not. You can tell they didn't want the character to be.
Ricky's very two-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
Doughboy's deep, man.
yeah, even though Ricky has a kid, you don't really like see him as you just see him as, hey, I'm this happy guy that's trying to go into football, college football.
Yeah.
Like he has no real depth past that.
Also, I like that they didn't hype up how big of a deal he would have been as a football player.
Yeah.
Getting recruited by USC, and then they showed his like highlight tape, and if you listen to the stats they were saying,
Yeah.
like over 200 rushing yards a game.
Right.
It's like, oh, you'd have been like a big fucking deal in Southern California. So he would have been on the news.
Right.
They, but I don't know, maybe at the time so many niggas, but no, niggas be getting shot up. No, he'd have been on the news. He'd have been, but it fit the storyline.
Yeah. I mean, either way, yeah, that to me that was the weakest character, but it's like he served his purpose very well.
Oh yeah, because when he died, that was the movie.
It was
that's
hard.
the whole movie. So
Well,
he is in a weird way.
He is likable. He's a very likable, he's very upbeat. You want him to get out.
Yeah.
You know?
Remember what I told you about the scene right before he dies too? Like, what a weird way. Like right before he dies, like Doughboy just beat him up for no reason.
Right.
No reason.
Right.
Just to prove no point at all.
I mean, well, I think Doughboy is just dealing with the fact that his mom hates him and loves this guy. Eventually, that would have spilled over somehow.
Yeah, probably. And it probably spills over in like that little ways, in the ways of like he just beats him up and shit.
Well, he beats him up after Ricky asks him to go to the store for him. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
it makes sense. It's just because I mean, Doughboy's mom doesn't love him.
He doesn't even beat him up. He just fucking roughs him up. He roughs him up.
Yeah,
he lets him know like, nigga, I'm good. I'll beat your ass. He definitely lets him know
that I could beat your ass if I wanted to.
If I want, don't you ever forget.
Doughboy loves Ricky.
Clearly, he fucking dude. When he gets out the car and blows them niggas' heads off, and then the one dude kind of starts begging for his life.
Yeah, and he was like, nope. Just watched him die. He almost risked getting caught by the police right then and there.
Yeah. Did you also notice that they mentioned that the old guy, the leader of that other gang,
yeah,
he was like 27.
Yeah.
Because they're all 17, 18.
Yeah,
even Doughboy, 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, he's looking for an excuse to shoot someone. That's what they said. He was older than everybody. You forget that these people are in high school because they go through so much during the movie.
Yeah, and they're completely in high school.
They're
like
all
children.
in high school.
They're absolute children.
Senior year, they take the SATs in the middle of it. Like that's in the middle of all this.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You just forget that these are like, what? I wasn't that adult at 17 years old.
Man, I know that racist black cop. I told you, bro, that shit fucked. I remember as a kid, man, seeing that shit. That racist cop scene fucked me up. Just because he's black, and then the white cop looks scared.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, this nigga is terrifying.
He's power tripping, man. Give people that like 1 ounce of power, and they will really be like, well, I'm taking it to an extreme.
Man, that nigga lost his goddamn mind.
It's crazy.
So you liked it?
I did like it. There was one more scene I wanted to talk about that I thought was interesting. That sort of applies to our lives, really. When Furious Styles is giving his gentrification speech about how, like, when these new businesses start coming in, it's important that they're black owned.
Yeah.
It's putting money back into the community.
Mm-hmm.
That's so important.
I mean, that's everything.
I mean, Jay-Z says that in one of his new songs that you play all the time, is you take the drug money, you put it back in the community.
Yeah.
That's how you clean it.
Yeah.
That's so.
Yeah, but niggas gotta buy a chain, bro. Nigga gotta buy some motherfucking Jordans, and nigga gotta buy. Well, because in the head, it's like, why would I buy a laundromat? And it's like, cuz motherfucker, like,
it's like I was talking. So at our job, sometimes like we'll give a person like $20 to cover the rest of my shift, right?
Yeah.
And someone was asking me like, isn't that a bad idea? Because you're working, but then you're giving away money to have someone else finish your work. And on paper, it might sound stupid, right? But the reality is if I give you $20 to cover my shift, and you give another person $20 to cover your shift, and that person gives another worker, that basically becomes $20 that we all share.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It stays in the community.
Stays in the house.
So that $20 is now a group $20.
Yeah, man, it's the Italian mafia style fucking family thinking.
I think almost all ethnicity, most ethnicities anyway.
Yeah.
Most ethnicities. I can't even say.
You can't get it.
Go
ahead. I'll let you go ahead until you say
ethnicities.
Ooh, you struggled.
I struggled.
You struggled. He couldn't get it. Try to do it one more time. See if you can do
most ethnicities.
All right.
There we go.
You look scared.
Yeah, 100%.
You look nervous.
100%.
Do it one more time.
No, you're not gonna
'Cause
make
I
me.
don't think you can do it.
I
I
know.
honestly don't think you could.
But yeah, I thought that was a good point, and it's the point that I think a lot of people like. Being rich isn't all about keeping the money for yourself. I mean, you can, but it's like you're richer if your community shares the money with each other.
Hell yeah. And it just brings up the value of the goddamn community.
Yeah.
You're also deciding what businesses are in the community. And it's not just liquor stores, gun stores, motherfucking shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing in actual, even though regardless that it was off drug money or whatever, who gives a fuck, nigga? Like, the whole thing's built off bad shit. So
Yeah, it's not about how you got the money. It's
yeah,
what you do when you get
what
it.
you do, what you get it, man. But
Mhm.
but you niggas gotta get a chain. Nigga gotta get a chain, bro. Nigga gotta get $100,000 chain. And I get it.
Yeah.
I want one too. And I'm gonna buy a $100,000 chain.
Mhm.
But it's a problem. And I hope my son doesn't do that. You know?
Yeah, amazing movie. My favorite line, talking about Furious. It's the last thing I have to say is he ain't a preacher, he just reads a lot.
He ain't a preacher, he just reads a lot. Bro, it sounds like a rap lyric when you say it like that.
Yeah.
He ain't a
The
preacher, he just reads a lot.
Yeah.
He ain't a preacher, he just reads a lot, nigga. Come on.
Yeah.
Bro, that was a deep, man. Boys in the Hood, bro, I don't know a movie deeper than Boys in the Hood. Honestly.
I mean, we might find one, but 5 thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lion, maybe. I'm not playing like Lion, maybe. As far as heaviness in one movie. Room.
I haven't cried and felt a sense of hopelessness like that in a while.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of Paul Blart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man.
Yeah,
Nothing, Boys in the Hood ain't shit like Paul Blart, dog. You know,
heard it here first.
You heard it here first, nigga. If you watching Paul Blart and thinking, man, I should watch Boys in the Hood next, don't. It's not the same. No, bro, that's one of my most favorite movies of all time. It's just because it's so real.
Mhm.
So fucking real, man.
And next week we have What Women Want.
Next week, What Women Want coming at you with the Mel Gibson realness. What's an interesting fact about What Women Want, Boys in the Hood?
What?
Same time length. Same length of time. It's gonna be
Same amount of black people.
Same amount of black people. It's pretty much like a Freaks and Geeks for black people again. Just like, whoa, he blew up too.
Yeah.
It's like that. So yeah,
All right, I'm excited for that.
definitely, bro.
See you later.
Yo, what up, EA?
Hey, back in the house.
EA Sports, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm excited. You've been telling me a little bit about this movie beforehand.
What Women Want
Oh,
with
man.
Mel goddamn Gibson, bro. It's a good movie, man.
Is it?
It's fucking ridiculous.
I remember the trailer for this.
You remember the trailer?
A little bit.
What do you remember? What do you know of this movie?
I
before we get
remember
into it?
he's in some kind of suit, and then he's walking through a crowd of women, and he can just hear all the women's voices in his head, and that's all I remember. But I do remember that.
So what do you think this movie is?
Man, you know what? Like when we've done this with the other movies, like I could kind of piece together, like maybe this is, maybe this happens and maybe this
Well, yeah,
happens.
like Boys in the Hood. You
Boys
put
in the
a
Hood.
bunch of different movies
I put
together.
a bunch of different black struggle movies together and smashed them all together and be like, maybe this is what happens in Boys in the Hood. And I got a couple things right? But for this one, it's like I've never watched a psychic romantic comedy before. So
All right, give me your best.
I
whatever
don't
you guess.
even know where to begin. So he's some kind of professional.
Okay.
Clearly, he does something where he needs to know people anyway. So he's either like a lawyer of some kind or like a therapist of some kind. Someone who like already has to be in people's minds. He's a womanizer. I think I remember that from the trailer. He's already a womanizer. It's Mel Gibson.
Shout out.
yeah.
Mel.
Man, I can't even begin to think of like what the fuck could happen in this movie. I did. He probably meets some girl. He's probably like now that he can read women's minds, he's probably going through women, and then he meets one girl that he can read her mind, but he still doesn't get her. He still doesn't, he might know her mind, but he doesn't know her soul.
Oh man, that's the real shit.
And then, but yeah, I mean, I expect to be like, what the fuck? Because you were telling me earlier, you've seen this movie how many times?
I don't know.
And you had no, and you
I
had
seen it in the theater when it came out.
And you had no idea that it took place in Chicago?
The whole movie, I was watching like, man, this is a crazy New York movie. And at the end, like the last line, they're like, oh, Chicago. And I was like, what, nigga? This is Chicago? I could have sworn this was a New York movie.
And so I mean, if you person who watched the movie plenty of times don't even know the setting, there's no way for me to even come close to the right ballpark of what the plot is.
A Nancy Meyers film, What Women Want.
All right, what happens? Tell me what happens.
Starts with a woman's voiceover. And she's talking about a man's man. That's what you. So you hear a woman talking about like a man's man, like what a man's man is, right? And then they show people in Chicago doing men shit, and it's just like a nigga throwing newspapers. I swear to God, it was like a dude taking out the trash and shit.
Yeah,
he's doing man shit, right? And while like Vegas Sinatra, you know, like baby, like that kind of Vegas Sinatra. Oh yeah, my town, like that kind of shit's playing. Like, you know what I mean? She's like a man's man, a real man.
Throwing newspapers isn't particularly manly.
Yo, that's what they decided to do to show what men do.
Yeah, we throw newspapers. Yeah.
So you find out that then they cut to like you find out the voiceovers like from the ex-wife, like apparently like his ex-wife. She says like I used to be married or something like that. She's talking about this Nick character. So she's the one, they let you know that she's doing the voiceover, right?
Okay.
And she's talking about how her ex-husband Nick was the ultimate man's man.
Oh God.
And then and then
she sounds mean.
You don't really know. They don't really let you know much about the ex-wife.
She's just the narrator?
Not even the narrator. She's just
in the beginning?
In the beginning.
Okay. What? All right.
She's like a New Yorkie classic.
Okay, she's like a social, like a Woody Allen
definitely
movie
like
person.
a socialite kind of, you know what I'm saying? So and she's talking about, you know, how she's talking about Nick, right? The Mel Gibson character. And then they cut to his assistant, right? So it's like a bunch of different women telling their opinion about Nick, and then she's like saying how he's always late and he's the most least politically correct person in the office. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a
Is she talking into a camera?
Into the camera. She's like talking into the camera about it. Yeah, it's all like that. Like they're all doing that. You know, but he's the king of, and then you find out he does ads.
Okay, I was way off from the job.
Yeah, he does ads, and she's
but
like,
he has to know what people think.
He has to know what people think. You're kind of right. Is he like? And she says, he's the king of babes ads. He's the king of bikinis and babe ads. You know, like he's a huge. We talking about John Hamm level, Mad Men shit. This nigga's top dog.
Right.
In the
so
ad
far, we've
community.
hit Mad Men in The Office in terms of styles already for this. That's interesting.
That's what you know.
Yeah.
And this came out 2000.
Yeah.
So then they go to his daughter, right? Then they compare to the daughter, and she goes, "Oh, my dad Nick, he's always been like an uncle to me, Uncle Dad."
Oh God. What? Like how old is the daughter?
So the daughter, all right, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Trust me.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just keep going with the goddamn.
All right.
All right. So, and then they cut back to the ex-wife, and she goes, Nick was born in Vegas, and his mother was a showgirl. So that's where it all started. And then it cuts to like a flashback of like him being in like Vegas, like a Vegas locker room with all these show women, and they're like all walking up to him and talking to him, and he's like flirting with them all and shit.
And he's like a little kid.
Like a little kid. He's like killing.
Right.
He's killing
he's adorable.
He's adorable, you know. So he's just flirting, and then it says like the only other he didn't know his dad, so the only male influences in his life were like strip club owners and pimps and shit. And so it shows him like counting money, laughing with like some like strip club owner,
right?
Like a weird scene. Like they're like,
right. So good guys.
Yeah, good guys.
Yeah.
You know, and so then his ex-wife, and so I blame what happened to Nick all on this, and then it like cuts to the morning. And then you see Mel Gibson for the first time.
Ooh.
And he's laying in bed, and this nigga's got like a lipstick kiss on his cheek.
Right.
And clearly just had sex. There's no woman in the bed, but clearly like this nigga was fucking. Like, you know, there's like women's panties and shit everywhere. You know? So the maid comes in and she wakes him up, and this nigga is like, he calls her like babe. Like, he keeps calling the maid, like, she's a big Mexican woman, right?
Right.
And, like, she's telling him, like, you need to stop being such a sexual pig, and you need to find a woman. And he's like, oh, come on, babe, you know me. And he's like,
smoking a cigarette.
With the shirt off.
Yeah, he's slapping another woman who's just there.
No, there's no other woman there. The other woman
right.
left, right? And so she's telling him he needs to stop sexualizing women so much. And then he, like, slaps her on the ass and, like, gets her to cook her breakfast. And she's like, oh, Mel, like, you know, boss, right?
God. Yeah. One of those people, like, okay, I know those people.
So then he like the next thing he goes to a coffee shop, right? Mm-hmm. And then he walks in and he sees like this real sexy woman, and then like he's got like his Playboy face on. The whole movie, this nigga's got a Playboy Like he's like
Yeah, the eyes squint. Yeah, that's funny.
the whole movie. Nigga. He's in full
Yeah.
Playboy
Does he lick his
womanizing
lips?
mode. Oh, the whole movie.
Oh,
yeah.
that's perfect.
He kills it though. I'm not gonna front. Mel Gibson
Right.
does kill it, but he plays the role. He's supposed to play like a dude asshole.
Yeah.
So he sees a hot woman, and then like he like notices her, and then he like kind of like walks to get in her way. And she like has coffee. He's at a coffee shop, and then he purposefully bumps into her,
Right.
and she spills coffee all over his shirt. And then he gets a napkin. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then just starts rubbing on her tits,
Yeah.
and she's just like okay with it.
Well, I mean, it's Mel Gibson.
It is Mel Gibson.
It's Mel Gibson. She's
It
like,
is
man, Mel
goddamn
Gibson
Mel
is
Gibson.
touching my tits right now.
So
That's-
Mel Gibson's touching titties.
Yeah.
You know, they just letting you know that this nigga's like the
He's
dude.
smooth. He's so
as fuck.
smooth.
He-
Yeah.
and kind of an asshole.
Well, yeah, definitely.
You know.
I think
So-
those go hand in hand.
And then we see our love interest. She's the coffee shop girl, and it's Marissa Tomei.
Okay, she works at the coffee
She
shop,
works
or
at the
she's the guy who's
No. She works at the coffee shop.
okay.
Like he's coming in to see her, and then he goes up to her, and she's talking about how she wants to be an actress. Right?
Right.
Her name's Lola, and then he walks up and he's like, "Lola, honey, baby, hey, Lola, baby,
My
sugar,
way.
sugar tits,
Yeah.
my town, baby." He's like
Yeah.
singing so much. And then this nigga is like, he asked her on another date. Clearly, like this is like he always
And she
asks her on
keeps
dates.
saying no.
Keeps saying no. That's
All
the
right.
thing, right? But she's into him. But she's
Right.
saying no because she's into him. Like you
Right.
can tell that's the vibe.
It's one of those things, but you gotta
Right?
keep asking for me to finally say yes.
Yeah, so she,
gotta play
she's
the
like,
game.
"Oh, Nick, you're just, I don't want to be hurt," things like that, right?
Mhm.
And then he's like, "Oh, come on, baby," and then he wanes her down. The lines get long. People are like, "Hey, come on, buddy," and he turns around. He's like, "Give me 1 second, guys," like
Yeah.
one of those. And then he gets her number, and then he gets a date with her the next day.
Oh,
So he gets a date with her for
Already?
tomorrow night. Yeah,
All right.
already he gets a date. Like she wanes. So I guess it's like she'd been waned down enough.
yeah.
And then he's
And
about.
she was probably like, I gotta serve these goddamn customers. It's
Yeah.
gonna be- yeah.
And so and then and she's also just like, "Oh, okay, Nick." Like she's just like she's really into him.
Right.
And then he turns around, he's like, "Oh yeah." And then there's a really nerdy dude behind him, and he goes like, this nerd's like, "Sir, that was amazing." And he's like, "I know."
Ah.
Yo, it's the lamest shit I've ever seen. I know.
Oh man.
So
I'm Mel Gibson.
yeah, then he goes to work, right? And
Mhm.
the next thing he goes to work, and he's walking in, and he sees his boy, and his boy's like a cool guy, but like a number 2 kind of guy. And he's
All right,
his
he's
boy
just
like
the sidekick.
yeah,
doesn't get a lot of women.
Doesn't get a lot of kind of character.
And it's like, oh,
But
you're
he's
so
good
good
looking
with
dude,
women.
yeah. And he just walks up and he's like, "How's it going, Nick?" And he's like, "Master of the universe," and he just starts
Mhm.
bragging about how he's just killing life and how he's fucking mad bitches and he's just talking shit. And the other guy's, just like, "Yeah, you sure are, but like,
Yeah.
man, you sure are cool, man." Just like that, like a Robin character.
Right. Just everyone kind of loves him.
Yeah.
All the dudes love him.
He's
a man's man.
He's
He's a
the
man's man.
man's man. He's
Mhm.
rich, he's powerful, he's fucking
Fucking a bunch of
good looking
women.
dude, fucking bunch of women.
Yeah.
He's cool.
100%. The whole while you were saying this, like, man, I wish I was Mel Gibson right now.
And he talks about how he thinks he's getting a raise today. Everything's going so good in his life. He's like, "I'm gonna get a raise
Ah.
today," And then he walks by, he bumps into this girl that he doesn't even like say sorry to, and he walks by her like he doesn't notice her, but like clearly you're supposed to notice this girl.
Right. Is she like a witch?
I don't know.
Does
You
she have
don't know. I'm
magic
just
powers?
saying.
Okay.
The camera, when the camera do that shit, like somebody bumps into somebody and the camera don't go with the lead, it stays with somebody too long.
Right.
And she ain't got no lines or nothing.
No.
They just stay with her too long. So she's just like, "Oh," and then she like picks up her stuff sadly, and then they go back to Mel Gibson, right? So he has these two, real quick, like he goes up to his office real fast, and he has these 2 olden golden girl secretaries.
Okay.
They're like old school ladies. They were like, so he has an assistant and he has old secretaries.
Right.
He's just a powerful dude, all right?
Right.
But the secretaries are like old golden girl ladies
That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. He's
who
not
just
trying to-
completely love him.
he's
They
not
love
try-
him and get him.
Yeah, he's not trying to fuck a
He's
secretary.
not trying to fuck him, but they
No.
get that. He tries to fuck everything and they're all about it.
They're cool with
They
it.
love him.
Yeah.
Okay, they just think he's the bee's knees.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yes.
Mhm.
So the next scene, he's in his big boss's
They
office,
think he's
right?
the bee's knees. That's
They do.
funny.
Bee's knees are cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen bee's knees?
That's how
nigga?
you know they're old. When
Yeah.
you bring out the bee's knees.
When you bring out bee's knees, my nigga, you know
Yeah.
it's real. So he goes to his big boss's office, and the big boss, he's a famous actor. He's funny too. He's been in so much shit, bro. He old white dude.
No
Man.
idea.
Yeah, well, I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
If you'd guessed it, I'd have been like,
I have zero
goddamn. But he's funny. Goddamn, man. He's been in so many movies. He plays a good guy and bad guy a lot, and he's good at both.
Gary
One of those.
Oldman.
Pretty
Probably.
much. He's a character actor like that. But,
Okay.
but he's good. So he's in his big boss's office, and his boss tells him, like, asks him if he's ever heard of this big executive woman named Darcy McGuire. And he tells him, like, "Oh, yeah, that's the bitch on wheels." Like, he does this whole montage of how he's met her. She's a big bitch. She sucks. She beat him in this ad competition
Okay.
back in the day, and he's always hold that grudge.
So
and he
that's
never
what it
forgot.
comes down to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He never forgot. And then he goes, "Yeah?" Well, I just hired her. And he goes like, what? He hired her for the job he thought he was about to get the raise for, right?
Yeah.
So he's mad. He's like, what? You hired her? You know,
And
he's
he
like,
turns around and she's there.
yeah. Well, he says
No.
not yet, but he says he hired her because she's a woman and they need women's thinking.
Right.
And that's what it's really about.
Okay.
So that sets up that.
Oh, that sets up that. That's
Yeah.
so funny. That's so funny if he gets a job over a woman about women's thinking. And he's a man. That's
Bro,
very.
the movie's crazy. Then
Yeah.
I watched it today and then I'm older. I've also only seen, I watched it all those times. I was like under the age of 15 when I had seen it like 15 times.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
know.
weird.
I know.
That's fucking
This is the
real
first
weird.
time I've watched this shit as an adult, nigga. So I'm coming at it from a way, it fucked me up to see this movie today.
And it spoke to you as like a 13-year-old?
Yeah, it was funny. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
So the next scene, like, right, he's mad, but he leaves. He leaves to go to his ex-wife's wedding. His ex-wife's getting married, right? So he meets his ex-wife, and he sees her, and he starts like flirting with her, and she's clearly into it. Like he's just such a playboy, and she's still into him. And then it's like his husband walks up, and he stops, but the husband's just like a nerd. It's like the opposite of him, clearly.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, hey, whoa, you're so cool, Nick. And the husband's like that kind of guy,
Oh,
you know, and he's like,
God.
oh, thanks, buddy. You know, it's like, just like, oh, it's such a,
So she swung in the complete opposite direction.
obviously.
After.
And then this is when you meet his daughter, fool. All right?
Mhm.
The daughter's name's Alexandria. The daughter is this 90s, like, punk rock vibe.
Yeah.
You know, like pop punk rock, like how that kind of like
Mhm.
grunge, like that's how she looks and
Yeah,
dresses.
like a Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain
like,
type.
yeah, like some shit like that.
Like
but
Courtney Love type, I think that would be.
the mom is hot. The
Yes.
ex-mom, hot as hell.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
It's Mel Gibson.
The daughter looks like fucking Steve Buscemi, nigga. The daughter is like who? How? How the
Yeah.
fuck did this happen?
Yeah, it's two hot
She's
people.
frumpy,
Yeah. it doesn't make any
bodily
sense.
frumpy. I'm not knocking. I'm just saying scientifically this made no sense.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Beautiful people make beautiful people.
That's how that goes.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't
No.
address it the whole movie.
That's funny. That's funny. You know what that is? That's like SpongeBob, where Mr. Krabs' daughter is a whale,
a whale.
and no one talks about
That's
it.
exactly what happens.
Yeah.
She's a whale. She's just. It's just like that's not what Mel Gibson's daughter looks like. That's your first thought. That's not what she looks like.
Right.
No.
It's just they missed the mark on the casting.
But well, they needed it for the character. Is supposed to be like a punk rock kind of.
Right.
I hate my dad kind of vibe.
But you can do that and also look like the daughter.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess they wanted her to not because everyone else in the movie is hot. Everyone else in
Okay.
the movie is hot.
Okay.
She's the only not hot person in this movie.
That's funny.
So the ex-wife and the new husband, they say they're going on a cruise and that the daughter's gonna stay with him for a week, and he's like, of course, like what? Because he's a bad dad, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
Uncle Dad.
Uncle Dad, yeah. And then the daughter is like, you know what? I'm out of here, Nick. See you later. And he's like, I'll see you at 7:30, honey. And the name's Dad, right? That's how like this scene is. It's so stupid. So next scene, they're in a board meeting,
Right.
and we meet we meet Darcy McGuire,
Mhm.
and it's Helen Hunt.
Ooh.
Helen Hunt's fine, fool.
Yeah.
Helen
And
Hunt
she's,
can get
and
it.
she's like powerful.
Powerful in this movie. She can
Yeah,
get it,
yeah.
and she's like very controlled in this movie. It's
Oh,
really
that
good.
is hot.
She was very controlled the whole movie.
A woman in control? That's hot.
Woman in control. She just knew what she was doing. She was on her shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It was very sexy. So it's him, and they're talking about how they heard a lot about each other and blah blah blah, kind of that kind of scene, like they're eyeing each other, eyeball, like like seeing what each other's about, And then they give Darcy this big welcome, and you can tell like they show over the Nick dude, and he's definitely not happy. And then he looks at his sidekick buddy, and they're doing like jerk off. Like
Yeah.
right in the meeting, like jerk off gestures, and then,
Yeah.
like right in front of her, just
Because they're good people.
because they're good people.
Yeah.
And then she says like how she's gonna make their company more about women. How the women ad industry was a $40 billion industry last year, and their company had zero
Zero.
of that money, that
Yeah.
profit. And she was like, that's too big of a pie to not have that. So she was like, I'm giving you all women kits. So she starts handing out all these boxes of like pink boxes of women kits, like all just women shit in them.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't take one at first. And then
No.
she goes, Nick, did you get one of those boxes? And he's like, and then she like throws him one. She's like, now you got one. Like, like I'm in charge. Like paying attention. Like, no, you didn't get a box.
She throws it like one of the newspapers at the beginning. Just, you're not the only one who can do this.
Yeah. He's mad, right? He's just
Right.
kind of mad. And so they cut to the next scene. He's watching TV at his house that night. And he's like flipping through the channels and shit. And then he says, he's like, I swear to God, this nigga says, it's too much goddamn estrogen on TV these days.
You know, Nick?
Throws the remote. He cuts the TV off.
You know, Nick? You and me, same problem. That's what I think.
Yeah. And so, because he's mad because she said when she threw him in the box, she wanted everybody to have a pitch by the next day. Like everyone needs to have a pitch
About women or for women.
About something in the box, because the boxes are full of just women products.
Okay.
So because it's an ad company, so they're like they need to have something in the box. They need to have an idea for by the next day. So he's like, all right, and he's like, oh, this is bullshit. He's like, he's drinking wine. He's like, I need some Frank. He's looking at the pink box. He's like, I need Frank. And he's like, he puts on Frank Sinatra, and then there's a whole dancing montage of like him manly dancing, like while singing Frank Sinatra. And he's like using like, like how those old, like in Beauty and the Beast, the goddamn thing you put your hat on.
Yeah.
The goddamn thing
the coat rack.
Like in the coat rack, this nigga is dancing with that, and it's like choreographed.
That's so fun. I love how they're hitting you over the head with,
he's a
this
man.
is a man.
This nigga dances to Frank Sinatra.
But to himself when nobody's watching.
When no one's watching.
Yes.
But he can dance his ass off.
Right. Choreographed. He can choreograph his own self-dance.
So he's dancing his ass off to like, my town, baby.
Yeah,
This is my city, because we're men. And it's just like one of those kind of songs, right?
Right.
And then he's dancing around the apartment, and he keeps looking at the pink box. And then he's like, and then he grabs it, and he's still dancing the Frank Sinatra song with the lipstick, and he's trying to like sell it, and it's like coming off really manly and like misogynistic, like the idea he says, right? And then he's like, he can't do it. And then he looks at his daughter's backpack, and he sees his daughter's music. And then he's like, he's going through it, and then he sees I forgot her name. And he's like, oh, she's hot, and he puts it on, and it's the song, I'm a bitch, but it's like the beginning of that song, right? And then he, right, and he's like, he grabs like, he looks in the mirror, and he grabs the wine, and he's like, you know what? You go, girl. And then the next scene is like, I'm a bad. It's like blasting.
Yeah.
I'm a bad. And he's like wiping the mirror off and shit. And this nigga's got like mascara on. Well, he's in the bathroom. This nigga's fingernails are painted. He's got.
It's a good ad man.
Yeah. He's got like all the women shit in the box. He's got it all on.
Yeah. He's sold himself the women box.
Yeah. He's trying to figure out what it is, right? And then he starts like waxing his legs. And then he's like, oh, this isn't that bad, right? And then he rips it off. And he's like, oh, women are insane. Why would they do that more than once, right? Like one of those like classic lines. And then he puts on pantyhose and shit. And he said something for them so sexy. He's like, he starts putting on the pantyhose. He's like, yeah, that's right, ladies. Wax it off and then cover it up. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, man?
I love it though. He's like, again, sexist to himself, like with nobody around.
He's like,
with nobody around.
Why would women put on pantyhose?
Right.
By himself. He's questioning the logic.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's crazy.
Yeah. So and then right when that happens, he's putting on the pantyhose. He turns around and his daughter and her boyfriend walk in on him. Like out of nowhere, they just pop up.
Yeah.
And they freak out. And then the boyfriend's also clearly much older than the daughter.
Okay.
Like boyfriend look our age.
Like problem.
This nigga old as hell.
Yeah.
And they argue for a second about how because the boyfriend storms off, and then they argue for a second about she's like, you don't listen to me, you never listen. He's like, I always listen. And she's like, what's my boyfriend's name? And he starts like guessing, and he can't remember, and then she storms off into her room, right? And he just keeps guessing, and so he's still trying to figure it out. And he grabs the hairdryer and he cuts it on, and then he remembers the name, and he like turns around and yells, he's like, Cameron, right? Because he gets it right,
right?
And then as he does it, he knocks over a thing of bath beads while the dryer's on,
right?
And he starts slipping, like starts like a crazy too long slip montage.
Okay, like
he's slipping for a long time while the I'm a bitch song's playing. Yeah. He's slipping, and then right when he's about to fall in the water, he fucking catches himself like in the bathtub water, and then he's like. He's like, whoa, that was close, right?
Yeah, and then he slips.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, like he stops himself and he gets up and then he trips on something else.
Yeah.
Like he trips like in a different way into the water, and then he electrocutes the shit out of himself.
Oh, he electrocutes himself.
Yeah, like hardcore.
Oh, shit.
Like crazy.
Yeah. Like he might die from this type.
He would have died.
Like in real life.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have gained superpowers.
No. What a crazy superpower too.
Yeah. What a great.
But that's how he gets a superpower.
Yeah. He would be a interesting Avenger.
That nigga would be an interesting Avenger, bro.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't be useless, but he'd also be useless.
They would just use him to know what Black Widow's thinking.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm like, what's that bitch thinking about?
Why is she like Hulk so much?
Why is she so into him?
Yeah.
He's a loser. So yeah, man, that's how. All right. So the next morning, the maid finds him right, like in the bathroom, laid out, and he thinks he thinks he hears her talking because she's like talking a bunch of shit. Like, I got me cleaning up all this stuff, right? And then he but then it's like you've come to find out it's really her thoughts.
Well, how does he realize it's her thoughts? Does he like interact with her at first?
No, he is just like saying little shit. Yeah, he's kind of saying like she keeps talking mad shit, and he's like, I haven't even asked for that yet, and she's like, I didn't say anything, and then he kind of goes off, and he's still like looking in the mirror, and then she's just talking mad shit, and then she's like a sex pig, and he's like, man, it's a little too early. He's like, you are in a mood today. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Like it's one of those things.
Right.
So he doesn't really all the way. He's
Fully
figuring out.
understand,
Yeah, but he's but not really. So he goes outside, and then he thinks women are saying just crazy shit to him, like either hitting on him or just saying wild shit to him, right?
Mhm.
And then that's when he realizes what's going on.
Oh, he can hear what women
Yeah,
think.
that's how. And then he's like outside, and he's like looking at him one by one. And like one woman's like, "Did I leave the coffee maker on?" And then one woman's like, "If I kiss a woman, am I a lesbian?" And like it's like all these random thoughts. And then like he hears like a French poodle's thoughts, like you know
Right,
what I
because
mean?
it's a girl poodle.
Yeah, I guess. And the French
Yeah.
poodle's like thinking like, she's like, "Give me a treat," or like some
Yeah.
regular dog shit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's insane.
So then he takes off running to work.
So
He
now
sprints
his
to work.
path to cure his sexism begins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how movies work.
Yeah.
Okay. So he runs to work, and he almost bumps into the not noticed girl, the
Oh yeah.
girl that nobody notices. He
Right.
almost bumps into, and then she thinks, and he hears her thoughts, and then she thinks, "Wow, he almost killed me. Too bad he missed." And then he hears that, and he stops,
yeah.
but then he keeps running.
Yeah.
But they let you know that he was like, "What the fuck, bitch?"
Yeah.
Like, you're weird, Okay.
Yeah. So what?
Like that was okay. What's that about?
That
And
was
then-
like sexual and suicidal at the same
yeah.
time.
Like what is happening?
My kind of girl.
Yeah, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
You'd like if you saw who plays her too, is she's another actress. She's in the motherfucking Devil Wears Prada and 13 Going on 30. It's a lot of motherfucking people in this rom-com kind of. It's a lot of people in this rom-com that are in rom-com.
And other
like
rom
this.
coms. It's a rom com world.
Where it's like a superhero rom-com. Like
It's a
13 Going on
superhero-
30. That's
yeah.
a superhero.
Yeah.
She's 13-year-old turned into a 30-year-old. That's a goddamn superhero, nigga. What do you think that is? That's a superhero movie. That ain't no rom-com. This is a Marvel.
Oh
Now,
god.
this would definitely be a DC movie. This is not I'm not gonna disrespect Marvel like that. This is
So that means the plot makes no sense.
Yeah.
If it's a DC movie.
yeah, it's like
the plot makes
this
no
is
sense.
pretty much Batman vs Superman.
Oh man.
It's a little different, but it's pretty much the same.
Well, I'm enjoying this so far more than I enjoyed that movie.
yeah. So where were we at? Motherfucking.
So he runs into the girl.
He runs into the girl,
Mhm.
the suicide girl. That.
She just wants to be noticed. She's invisible.
Yeah, he's freaking out because he hears nothing but women talking mad shit as
Right.
he's walking like into the office. Like he just hears all these women talking shit to him.
Right.
Like how they hate him pretty much, And then he gets to his old women secretaries, and then they have no thoughts. Like he's sitting there looking at them, and then they're just like looking back at him. And when I was a kid, I thought they were men. That's what I thought that meant. I thought like, I swear to God, as a kid,
That's funny.
I thought that, and then I realized today, because women from that era and time had no thoughts.
Right. Women don't have no
That's what. No, but I'm dead serious, dog. That is what that was supposed to indicate. was
Right,
that
like
women
that-
from that era of time.
Their own opinions have been beaten out of them.
Yeah, they don't think.
Figuratively, maybe literally, but I meant figuratively in
Yeah.
that sense. I realized the terms I was using, but yeah.
A lot deeper. As a kid, I was just like, they're just
Yeah,
men.
that's way more fucked up. That's like that's really fucked up.
Crazy joke that they threw in there. But that was supposed to be like a joke,
Right.
you know? So he starts talking to his friend, his number 2 in the office, and he's panicking. And his boy doesn't know like what's going on and telling him like, stop, you're freaking out obviously and all that shit.
Mhm.
And he doesn't believe him. And as his friend was like trying to get him to relax, the suicide girl walks by again, and she just starts thinking mad suicide shit. Like she's just like, I wonder if I jumped off this window, if anyone would know. Like she's saying it's like, and it's like slow mo, and he's just like looking at her as his friend's like telling him to relax, and it's like, who is this? Like, what is her point in this movie, right?
Yeah. Oh god, is she gonna shoot up the office?
Bro, her point in this movie is ridiculous.
Okay.
But just know that they keep letting you know that this bitch wants to kill herself.
Okay.
Then he goes to the meeting. Remember the meeting? She was like, she wants to hear your ideas the next day for the meeting.
Mhm.
And she asks him, she calls on him first,
Right.
right? Because he's making eye contact. And like, it's crazy because he's hearing all these thoughts. So the whole movie now, he's hearing thoughts. So it's hard to explain what's going on because he's
It's a
just
low key horror movie.
it's crazy what's
Yeah.
happening in this
Yeah.
fucking film. So he calls him and he says like some really sexist joke,
Mhm.
and like all the women laugh, like all the guys laugh and all the women like laugh really hard. And then like he's reading all the women's thoughts, and like all the women are like, I fucking hate this guy. Like and then
Yeah.
while they're all laughing, they're like, oh my god, I fucking the worst joke I've ever heard. Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
oh that's funny, you piece of shit. Like like they're all
Yeah.
thinking that.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of looking, and it's fucked up because like everyone's laughing. like with a really big smile on their face, as they think horrible
Horrible
things.
shit about him. Oh my god.
It's really funny. Yo, it's fucked up, man.
Like in his shoes, I'm squirming, but I mean, he kind of deserves it because he sounds like an asshole.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
could you
I'm like,
imagine?
oh, God,
While everyone was
no.
laughing, you knew they hated you.
No, oh god, you really don't want to know what people actually think about you. No,
No, it's bad.
no,
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's
it's
awful.
never what you think it is.
So he, everybody kind of like move on from that, and then he says like one of his like really horrible sexist ideas, and then they move on to like another woman's idea,
Mhm.
and then he hears like it's about Advil, and she's telling the idea while he's really listening to her thoughts, and in her thoughts she's thinking about like how she takes Advil so she doesn't have to fuck her husband. That's how she says she has a headache, right? And that's why she takes him, because it's not too powerful.
Right.
And then like he interrupts her,
Mhm.
and then like spuses that shit. Like, I have an idea. Why don't we? He's like, and then he pitches that, and then everybody's kind of looking at him like, where the fuck did that idea come from? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Also funny that he interrupted a woman to do that.
yes,
Like that's
like stopped her from talking.
yeah,
And of course, they didn't take the idea, but they all just kind of noticed that like that was interesting
yeah,
that he just did that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But then they were all just like, at least they all gave him props, like, wow, at least like a bad idea, but like from a woman's perspective. So good job, Nick. Everybody just like really likes this guy, dude. It's really weird. So he comes home from work that night, right? The next scene, and he walks in on his daughter and his boyfriend hooking up. His daughter and her boyfriend, they hooking up.
Oh god.
Like he walks in on that shit.
Ugh.
Hand a tit, and he's also hearing her thoughts. So that's also really weird.
Oh god, damn. This is again low key horror movie. The fuck?
This could have been really fucked up.
That could have been fucked up. That's pretty fucked up.
So he walks in and he hears her thoughts about like she thinks something about prom, and he immediately goes, "You're not going to prom with her and with this boy." And she's like, "How do you know? I never said I was going to prom." And he's like, "Your mom told me." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "You're not going." He's just like really mad, right? He's
Right.
just really mad about it the whole day, I guess. He's
Right.
just pissed. And so the boyfriend kind of like he's just weird. Like he kisses her too long, like just like an older kind of guy,
Oh yeah.
just like an older gross kind of guy.
Oh,
vibe.
so he's a little bit molesty.
Yeah. And then so he's just weird. So they storm out, right? They both
Right.
storm out because they're both mad, obviously, because she's like, fuck you, dad. And then they leave. And then he's like, I can't handle all these hearing these women's thoughts. So he's like, I'm gonna electrocute myself again. So he puts on all the shit, starts playing all the song again, starts dancing around. I'm a bitch. I'm
Yeah.
whatever. And goes outside in the rain, storm, and electrocutes himself.
Wait. So he wants to stop hearing women's thoughts, right? And he's like, let me electrocute myself.
Because that's how he got the powers.
Right. And so he goes through, I'm a bitch, puts on the makeup again,
Yep.
but then doesn't do the bathtub.
No, he electrocutes himself in a different way.
So it doesn't work. Clearly.
Yeah. I never thought about it from that angle, but yeah, that's I guess
What?
the reason for
Wait,
why
what?
it didn't work.
It's not like he cut a corner. He made it harder to electrocute himself by going outside.
No, like apparently, if I remember, like lightning strikes him. That's why. Like it's not even like
Right.
it's like a miracle that he got electrocuted in the first place. It's a good ass movie, bro. I'm telling you, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah. All right, so he gets fucking struck by lightning, which clearly doesn't work.
Well, you don't know that yet. He
Oh,
wakes
okay.
up the next morning. He wakes up the next morning on the couch, by the way.
Right.
Don't know how he doesn't say how he gets there, but he's on the couch,
Mhm.
and he runs outside searching for women. Like, right, you can't find a woman, he literally can't find a woman, and he kind of, and then he finally sees one, but she's talking. And he thinks he beats it at first, and he's like, oh, and then like while he's looking around in this like shopping mall, he slowly realizes that he's hearing women's thoughts, and he's like, no, and he panics. He panics again. He's like, he can't handle it, and he sprints to his old therapist. Not even an old couples therapist that him and his ex-wife went to like 10 years ago.
Woman?
Yeah, a woman.
Okay.
And it's a shrink, and she remembers him, and then she's like, all right, I guess come on in.
Mhm.
And then he tells her everything that's going on, and of course she doesn't believe him, and she's like, I'm going to write you a prescription for this, blah, blah, blah. And then he says one of her thoughts to her,
Right.
and then she's like, what? And then he's like, think of a number, and between 1 and 1,000,000, and then like he says it to her as she's thinking of the number. Like, and then he's changing like the number back over, and then she freaks out.
Right.
She's like, what the fuck? And then he's like, I know. And then she like loves it.
Oh,
And
God,
and then
that's
she also
really weird.
she starts smoking weed. She's like, "Oh man, I need to smoke." And he was like, "Go ahead, I'm freaked out too." And then she starts smoking weed. And then she's like, "Okay." And she starts like telling him how like he's gained the greatest superpower of all, and how he needs to stop panicking, but it's like a good thing.
And then Samuel L. Jackson comes in with Iron Man. He's like, "Let me join this team we
He
have."
said, "Nick, we need you."
Yeah.
So this is what like, and then he realizes. Now is where he realizes in the movie that it's a good thing that he has this power.
Right.
And then she says that like the they always gotta throw the title of the movie in there. And then
Mhm.
she says to him, she was like, Nick, you finally have the power to realize the age-old question. What do women want? And it pans on his face. He's like, like it just, and it's also like, nigga, how did this just hit you that this is a good idea? You needed somebody to tell you that this is a cool thing.
You're also a womanizer.
You should.
So your first thought should have been like, "Fuck yeah."
Well, also he hates women. That was more like
Well, yeah.
you hate women so much that you were mad. Your initial reaction is mad that you got to hear
That's a
that
good point.
they think.
That's a good
It's
point.
fucking crazy.
That's a good point. Are you sure this isn't a Twilight Zone episode?
Dude, I don't know what this fucking movie was. My nigga.
Yeah.
Nancy Myers. Hey, shout out to Nancy for writing this.
Mhm.
Nancy, you killed it. So he leaves the office. Her office was like a new sense of purpose. And he's like, now he's like trying to hear every woman's thoughts. And he's like, damn, he's all excited about it.
Yeah.
He's like getting close to every woman, like with his ear. Like that makes it.
It makes it better.
Yeah, they never explain the volume of how it works.
Yeah.
Because they're at one point, like he's next to a jackhammer and he can't hear women's thoughts. And it's like, how would that be the problem?
Right. It's in your head.
Yeah. He's like, they don't explain.
Well, I guess sounds happen in your head technically too. So the jackhammer space is taking more sound.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he goes and he sees Marissa Tomei at the coffee shop, right?
Oh, they have a date.
Yeah. And he uses her thoughts against her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess she canceled the date. They don't explain. So he goes in and he's now like, she's talking about how she doesn't want to be hurt and blah, blah, blah. And this and that.
He did get electrocuted by lightning.
That's why the date got canceled.
Yeah.
So she's talking about how she don't want to get hurt, and it's that's why, because she's making up how it's on and off.
Mhm.
And then he like uses her thoughts against her, and he plays up like how he's not gonna hurt her because she's thinking all this shit.
Right.
And then he says it all back to her. I'm not gonna hurt you. Never want to do this. We're going on a date, get to know you, and like everything she wants to hear. She's like, yes.
Right.
You know. Next scene, he goes to Helena.
Hunt's office.
Well, he goes to work,
Mhm.
and he talks to the suicide girl for the first time. Like he sees her, and he like stops, and he like goes and makes a point to like, I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
And he's nice to her, and then he walks away, and then she thinks like, what do you know? There is life on this planet. And then like, she's gonna kill herself. And then he like feels good about himself. Like he walks away with like a sense of pride.
Yeah.
So he goes into Helen Hunt's office,
Right.
Darcy, and he just starts reading all her thoughts and makes himself look like a good guy. Like
Right.
she's like starting to think back, and then like whatever she thinks, he flips,
He's like flipping.
and making himself look like a good dude, right?
Right.
And their boss walks in and then asks for advice on something,
Mhm.
and he hands it to her first, and then like she's thinking about it, and then like he's hearing all of her thoughts on it, and then he goes, Nick, you have any thoughts? And then he just says her thoughts first, and then of course she's not mad or anything. She's just like, I was thinking the same thing. Like she's
Right.
like it's making her like him more,
Right.
right? It's not making her
He's
mad.
playing her.
He's playing her. He's
Mhm.
just fucking her over, right?
Mhm.
And then the boss is like, oh, you know what, Nick, I like your ideas. And then she tries to throw like some last idea out there, and he's like, I'm gonna go with Nick's. And then she's like, that's it's a really good idea, Nick. Like she's just like, you can tell she kind of feels like it's pretty fucked up. He makes her like feel less than,
Right.
like in a weird
Right.
way.
As a man should.
Well, yeah, he was doing his job.
No, it is very weird how like I could see how they're trying to be like feminists,
Yeah.
or, like pro women,
Yeah.
but like there's a lot of anti-women shit happening right now.
Oh yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anti-women
This
shit
is
in this movie.
really, really weirdly sexist, but not in the way you would think.
Because it's clearly pro-women.
But it's so very sexist.
I don't know what happened when they wrote this.
Yeah.
And a woman wrote this.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I liked it though.
Yeah.
So then he, like, while he's in her office, like her assistant comes in and says, hey, Nick, you have a call. Your daughter's on line 1.
Mhm.
And he's like, hey, can I take the call? Like in her office. She's like, yeah.
Right.
And then she's like thinking like, oh, I didn't know he had a daughter. Like she's like thinking nicer things about like, oh, he has a daughter. And like, and he's just kind of like answering all of her questions which is really weird. If I'm her, I'm like, how the fuck is this nigga answering everything I
Right.
say?
How is he in my head?
Everything I say, he's answering.
Right.
I haven't said anything. He's just saying stuff to her. And she's like, oh, like that. Kind of like,
Yeah.
makes no sense.
You would get suspicious at some
Yeah.
point.
And so the daughter calls and tells him just that, hey, I'm going to have friends over, blah, 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 and then hangs up. And then he pretends to keep having a conversation to make himself look like a good guy.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, no problem, honey. Yeah, bring your friends over. Like she called and hung up.
Yeah, he's talking to nobody.
Talking to nobody. So it's
Classic move. He's
Classic.
trying to impress a girl. Classic move.
Everyone does that when they're trying to impress a girl.
Right.
And then she tells him like he hangs up and then he tells her like, oh, she's going to prom soon. They're just kind of talking. She's like, oh, the prom dress is the most important thing. After you get the prom dress, it's all downhill from there. And then that's what she says to
Again,
him.
these are weirdly sexist things that are happening. Like that, these characters are just saying.
That's what happens. So the next scene, bro, he comes home and he walks like in on his daughter and his friends, and his daughter's friends hate him. They don't like him. Like he hears their thoughts, and then he just starts saying whatever the opposite of their thoughts are to make them all like him. And then he's like, hey, I'll take you to get a prom dress. And then his daughter thinks, well, I'm going to get the most expensive prom dress I can get. And he's like, you know what, man, what the hell? Let's get you the most expensive prom dress we can get. And they're all like, oh, what a cool dad. You know, you're like, he's just being a piece of shit.
Yeah, this is so gross. This is really gross.
Yeah. So the next scene, they cut to, and it's Marissa Tomei and him making out hardcore. Like
Already?
outside her place.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't show the date. They just cut to, they are making fucking out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They are just,
Hey, good for Mel.
oh yeah, hardcore getting at it, kissing. She invites him up to his place to have sex, and he's reading her thoughts. He's like still reading her thoughts, and she's like slow, like she's really into the sex at first,
Right.
and then slowly but surely she's not into it, and she just starts talking mad shit about how his dick's not that big. Like dude, it flips really quick on him. Yeah, like really fast.
Ooh.
About his dick's not that big, and how like she was like, did she leave the stove on, and is Britney Spears on Leno that night, and like crazy, like these like random thoughts, and then he's just like emasculating him, right? And then he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and he goes to the bathroom and like starts giving his dick a pep talk, and then she hears him like giving his dick a pep talk, and then she walks, she's like, everything okay? And he's like, yeah, and he like crosses his leg like a woman. It's a really funny scene actually.
Yeah.
Crosses his legs like a woman, and like they show Mel Gibson naked, like with his legs crossed
That's
like a
funny.
woman.
That's funny.
And then he's like, I think I can do better. And then she thinks like, yeah, like sure. And then the next scene is like he is fucking the shit out this bitch. And like she's screaming her goddamn like mind off, and then she's talking, and then like it's the classic scene where people stop and sit and they roll over,
and they roll over,
and
yeah,
then
and
she's
it's
just
panning.
and he's just like looking at her, and then she's just like, you were in my head, no one's ever been in my head, oh woo, oh my god. She's like still screaming and just like being ridiculous, like being like a crazy person at this, like literally a crazy person.
Yeah.
Just yelling, and then she's like, Nick, and her last thing is like, Nick Marshall, and like he lights up a cigarette, and he like leans back and is like, Nick Marshall is a sex god, and it like pans out the apartment like to the earth, like it makes it seem like like the whole earth heard her.
Yeah.
It's a stupid movie.
That's so dumb. That's so funny though. The pep talk must have been hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
So the next scene he's in like yoga and libraries and flower shops. It's just like a montage of him just like listening to women's thoughts to Sinatra.
Right.
Just being old Nick and writing down all their thoughts, and he's loving it. And then they like pan over, it's still in the montage scene, they show like the Helen Hunt character walking in the office, her big boss's office, like with an idea. And then he like looks at her and then holds up a billboard of like the same idea, and then he had just brought it in earlier, and then you can see her kind of go like not mad, just like fuck.
How is she not mad?
Because how would she know?
But at this point, how is she not like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
there should be some weird alarm bells going on. Cause that's crazy.
That is a little crazy. So the next thing they show him, like he's like hanging in like the woman's break room, like giving everybody like love advice, and he's just killing it. Like all the women just love him now.
Right,
Like,
and
now
he's just saying what they want to hear.
He's just saying what every woman thinks. He's just saying and he's just flipping it. It's crazy. And then they cut to, and it's like him and the Helen Hunt character, and they're working on this like big Nike campaign now. Like this is a big thing, big deal that they got to get now.
Right.
They got to get this big Nike campaign together, and she's starting to like him,
Right.
You can tell she's starting to really like him.
Yeah.
And they tell each other what they heard about each other, and and they're just kind of like falling for each other. And then she's starting to think out loud, like, "Oh God, don't fall for a guy at work. Don't fall for a guy at work." And then she sees, this is in the trailer. I remember this is a classic scene. And she looks at his dick, and she's like, "Oh, I just looked at his penis." And then he's like starts laughing, and then she like starts trying to talk, and she's like, "Oh, I looked at his penis again," like in her head.
Yeah.
And then she like falls down, and then he like does like a crotch pump.
Right. Well,
and she's
yeah.
like, "Whoa!" I'm looking at it. And he's just like laughing, and like that's just how that scene is. It makes no sense.
Oh man, this is I get low-key
Rom-com.
horror.
Low-key horror,
Low-key
low-key
horror.
rom-com.
Low-key horror. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he's about to leave work really
That's
late.
funny, though.
Yeah, it's funny. And he's about to leave work really late, and he notices it's like still the same day, and she's still there. So he goes in the office, and he's just kind of talking to her, and he like stays and he helps her work, and they kind of start flirting, and then the camera pans back on Chicago as like they play, My Town. Like everything's just going great
Yeah.
for him, right? And he's just, but you can tell like, oh wow, they're really starting to get into each other.
Okay, and then so this is where things are about to flip.
Yep. And then the next scene, he's prom dress shopping with his daughter,
Okay.
bro. And they do like the try on scene that's in every movie where they just try on a bunch of outfits.
Did they
and
do it
he's
for
like,
too long?
bro? It's the longest scene.
Uh,
It's at least, I'm not bullshitting this on, at least like 3 minutes. In your head, it's like, oh, that's not that long. Sit there and watch somebody try on dresses for 3 minutes.
yeah,
like,
it sounds crazy
it's
long.
crazy, dog.
That's the scene supposed to be like 30 seconds.
30 seconds tops. It's
Yeah.
a 3-minute scene, my nigga. It's crazy. It's crazy long.
That's funny. It had to be long because you took a note on it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's.
I
So
had to write
funny.
that down. I was like, this is the longest shit I ever noticed. And then at the end of it, like she finds the dress she wants, and then he hears her thought while she's looking at it. And she's like, this is the dress. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna buy her. Like you can tell he's like happy. And then she's like, I can't believe this is the last dress I'll be a virgin in. And then he like spits his coffee out, like you know what I mean? And so like that's her thought. That's what she thought. She thought that out loud.
Do women think like that?
It just was this bitch thought.
Maybe. Well, Nancy Meyer thought. Well, I'm gonna trust Nancy Meyer on this one.
Yeah. So they're having lunch the next scene, and he's like trying to tell her about sex. And then she's like, hey, Dad, I don't know what this whole new Nick's about that you're trying to be all cool, but like just giving him shit, you know,
Right.
but like leave the parenting to Mom. And then she just like leaves him at the
Jesus,
dinner
what
by
a,
himself.
what a terrible.
Well, she's punk rock.
Well, also to be fair, he's been a terrible dad up until this point.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. So they cut to Nick, and he's in his bed now, and he's watching like people lose weight videos, and he's crying. He's just getting in touch with his feminine side, I guess, now.
Right.
And the
'Cause
dark.
That's what women do. They cry when they see people lose weight.
They do. The Darcy character calls, and they're both like all smitten. And then the next shot, like they're out on a late dinner. Like she invites him out to a late dinner, and they go out like on a
Right.
really late dinner, and they're just at this like cool jazz club, and they're talking, just getting all flirty. And then she's telling him about how she's gotten divorced once too,
Mhm.
and she worked with her. He heard about that because she used to work with her ex-husband, and she was like, yeah, we worked together just like this situation, and then we were just too competitive, and it didn't help us, and then I'm the one who left. And he's like, why'd you leave? And she was like, I needed to know that I could do the job on my own, and I didn't need him. It was like a whole like a deep
Right.
scene of like
That's a good conversation.
basically of just like, hey, let's show Helen Hunt can act. That's all it was. To me, it
Right.
was like, hey, we got Helen Hunt. I guess we should let her.
We should do something Helen Hunty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In my head, they were like, oh, we paid for her. We paid for Helen Hunt. We
Right.
might as well let her like do her thing.
Right.
So they try to hold back for a little while they're talking. Like you can tell they want to kiss, and then eventually they begin kissing.
Oh God.
They make out for a while, and then they promise at the end of the scene that they're not gonna
That's
let it.
all that's gonna be.
Yeah, no work. No, not the all. They're just not gonna let it get weird at work.
Okay.
Okay, so he comes home, and the Marissa Tomei character is waiting outside his house. Remember the one who was like, "Don't hurt me."
Oh yeah,
And
I know.
Like that he whined down.
Oh, I
you
know.
So she's mad. She's going off, bro. Going off. She's like, I can't believe you gave me the most life-altering sex. She says that, the most life-altering sex in my life, and then you leave me. Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And he's going off, and she's like, you must be gay. She's like, tell me right now that you're gay, Nick. That's the only thing that was gonna make me not kill you. And he goes, I'm gay? And then like the music changed to like lighthearted music, and then there's this whole scene where he becomes a gay man for her. He like pretends to be gay.
What? That's
And she believes it. And she
then-
hugs him, and she goes off. And that's the last time you see Marissa Tomei.
Really?
Dead serious.
That's the last time you see Marissa Tomei the entire movie.
Yeah.
What a twist. What a twist. What?
She's not the love interest in any way in this movie. It's obviously the Helen Hunt character.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. They just pulled the rug from under you.
Yeah, they do.
That's
it's
so
really funny.
Because I was like, oh man, there's gonna be this there's this good conflict
Yeah.
between Helen Hunt and Marissa Tomei, and now Marissa Tomei's just gone. He just pretends to be gay.
Oh, yeah. So,
Mhm.
moving on.
Yeah.
He's back at work. He goes back to work, and he tries to tell Darcy. Like you can tell, he's like he likes the Darcy chick now, and he tries to tell her right before the Nike pitch meeting. He's like, "Hey, you should do the pitch. It's your baby. You should really do this." And then she's like, "No, you killed it. You came up with it. You do it." And then like she tells him how she's not gonna hear it. He's gonna do it, and he's like, you can tell he's kind of like, fuck. You know what I mean?
It's not his idea.
It's not, and now he likes her. He feels bad.
Yeah.
He then overhears the suicide girl just having more suicide thoughts. They just like, as that happens, and he's like, and he does that. He like looks over, and then she's like, no one will notice me if I'm gone. Like, I swear to God. And then he's just like, this bitch. That's his face.
Oh yeah, this sounds like
damn.
my kind of woman right now. That's.
I feel like every time he looks at her, he's just like, why are you always around? Like he gets over like, is this all you think about? Is
Yeah,
this
it's
it?
nuts.
I guess that is probably all they think about.
Well, I mean, if you're about to do it, probably.
Yeah, I guess good point.
Yeah. That's not something you just. That's not a passing thought.
Yeah. So after that, they cut to he's in the Nike pitch meeting and he's killing it. He
Right.
kills him and he says all of Darcy's ideas that she's been saying the whole movie about
Mhm.
women. You know, like everything she's been saying, he says at this pitch meeting, he rips it to shreds. All the women, because of course, there's Nike women looking at him. They're just like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe a man would know so much about a woman's head. You know, like
Yeah.
all that shit. And he kills the meeting, and then she busts in like he's in his office after, and he's like looking at his computer, and he starts like writing an apology letter about how he stole all our ideas to her, and then she busts in with champagne, and she's like, "We need to celebrate." This is the Darcy character, you know,
Right.
You killed it, blah blah blah, and he's like, I don't know, and then of course she just kind of like wins him over, and they start kissing, like and then he
And then he doesn't finish the
he
letter.
doesn't finish the letter, kiss,
that.
and then she's like, "Hey, I want to show you something," and then she takes him to she bought a new house. She just bought like this new mansion.
Right.
It's like a
Just a big house.
Chicago Upper West Side kind of looking place. Like
Okay.
it's like it's not a house.
Swanky, it's a townhouse apartment.
Yeah, like apartment, like but some rich
Condo.
people live in, bro.
Right,
like some
condo.
rich ass people live, some Sex in the City shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he like, and she's like, I just spent all this money on this, and I can't believe, and she's just kind of like being really excited, and then she's giving him a tour, and then they just start making out more, and then that's it. They don't like show a sex scene between them, which is interesting. Just that they really are into each other.
Right. Are they? So they're taking it slow. They like each other.
Yeah. So the next scene, the boss is like trying to like give Nick, like the big boss calls in Nick, and he's trying to give Nick. He notices he's trying to give Nick Darcy's job,
Right.
and then Nick dude's like realizing like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to keep Darcy. She's the best. With your whoop. He's like, why are you saying this? And then he slowly realizes like, oh no, you didn't already fire her, did you? And he's like, yeah, we fired her this morning. And then he was telling her how he fired her without a struggle, and how he let her know that Nick was clearly the guy for the job, and it should have been him the whole time. And he's telling her how he told her that, and he's just like, no, you idiot, you gotta call her right now and get her back, or the whole company's gonna go under. None of those ideas were mine. That whole Nike thing was her. You know what I mean? Like he's
Right.
freaking out, like, you gotta get her back, you gotta get. And of course now the boss is looking at her like, shit, you put me in, you fucked us, you put me in a bind. You know what I mean?
You should have disclosed your psychic powers.
Yeah, exactly. So he's running out the office now to go find Darcy and like let her know something wrong happened, and he notices that he doesn't see the suicide girl. So it's the first time that something happened and he didn't look over and the suicide girl wasn't thinking suicide thoughts.
Yeah.
It's the first time this happens in the movie, and he's like, he asked everybody where she was, and everybody's like, "Oh, who are you?"
Who are
they
you
don't
talking
even,
about?
yeah,
she's
of
just
course.
invisible.
And so he freaks out. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go find her."
Right.
And he gets her address, and then he finds her, and he goes to like this like Chinese part of town in Chicago. I guess Chinatown in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have it. Chinatown. in
She
Chicago.
Asian?
No.
Okay.
Maybe she just lives in Chinatown.
Okay, maybe she. Fair. That's fair.
You know,
That's very fair.
She lives in China. Clearly, I guess she does live in Chinatown.
I was wrong.
So
You're right. I was wrong.
he runs up to this, like he's looking for her place and he can't find it, and he goes up to this old little Chinese lady, right? And he's like, he shows her the address, and then she doesn't speak English, but she just nods, and she puts an umbrella over him, and then like they start walking, and it starts raining, and then they walk, and then she takes him to an alley, and she points, and he's like, what do I do? And she points in the alley, and he's like, I don't know what to do, and then he points, and then she's gone, right?
Right.
And he starts walking to the alley, and then, telephone pole, like telephone poles, like it's raining. I've never seen telephone poles do this, but the telephone poles start like sparking. Like, did you ever watch wrestling? You know, like when Goldberg came out?
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you know fucking sparks?
Yeah.
Nigga,
I know what sparks are.
it looked like Goldberg's finna come out, dog.
Okay.
Like, it looked like a wrestler's finna come out. Like, how many sparks are flying around this nigga? And it like starts swirling around him, like clearly like on some like crazy wild shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it does it in slow motion as like weird music plays.
Mhm.
And I guess this is indicating like something's happening.
Right.
Losing
When
it.
the slow music plays,
That's when you lose your power.
things are about to change. Yeah.
It's kind of like remember in I forgot I think the Rookie or whatever, with the
Never
baseball
seen The
movie where the little kid throws fast.
Oh.
You know when
he becomes a pitcher. The little kid becomes a pitcher.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when he falls in slow motion and
Yeah,
he gets
yeah.
up and you realize like, oh, he lost his power.
He lost his
It's one of
power.
those kind of things where you're just like, oh, damn,
It's going slow.
this-
Ricky's about to die.
Not yeah.
It's going slow. It's things are changing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, something's about to bad about to happen. You know,
Right.
so you realize you kind of figure something. You don't know he lost his power, but you figure something happened.
Right.
So then he goes up into the apartment and he sees like he doesn't see the girl,
Mhm.
and he sees a note on the bed and it's like, dear mom, and he starts reading. He's like, oh no, he thinks he's too late, and then she busts in on him. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing? I thought you were gonna hurt you. Are you okay? And she's like, well, yeah, but why are you here? What are you doing? She's like, it's because I didn't come into work today. I called, and then she's like, but I don't think anybody got the message. And he's like, no. And then he's looking at her, and then he's kind of staring at her, and she's like,
And he can't hear anything.
he hasn't noticed anything yet. And then she goes, so I'm just sitting here thinking. She says something like, I'm She's like, he goes, he asks her like, what are you thinking? And she's like, I'm thinking, why are you in my house or something like that? And he's like, are you thinking that now? And she's like, yeah, I'm literally thinking a million things about why are you here?
Right.
And then he goes,
Has-
oh,
no!
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
he likes it. He's like, oh, I lost the pack. He's not mad or happy.
All right.
He's just like,
he's like, my life is back.
my life is back and I'm a different man. Like,
I have grown
I
over
have
the
grown.
course of a movie. this is character development. Is that what he said out loud? My
Pretty
character has developed.
so, he realizes his powers are gone and then he tells her the real reason he came over was because he didn't want her to hurt herself.
Mhm.
And then she starts immediately crying,
Mhm.
you know, and then she's like, oh, I was, you know, and then he cuts her off and he's like, but I'm also here to offer you a promotion. Because he was like, because apparently she went up for a promotion years back, but he never even knew who she was, obviously. And
Right.
he's like, I'm here to offer you a promotion. And then so she takes her promotion and it's like a happy scene for her.
Mhm.
So next scene is he's leaving her house to go see Darcy, to run and find Darcy.
Right.
And he's getting a call from his ex-wife. And he's like, what? And then she's like, where are you, Nick? Where are you? My daughter's been blowing up my phone. She's at her prom. Where are you? Where are you? And he's like, what? I don't know. And so, of course, the next scene is him rushing to the prom.
Right.
Like, he rushes to the prom. He gets there, and he asks the girl, like, what, have you seen my daughter? And then one of her friends, and she's like, yeah, but she's been in the bathroom, like, crying for, like, an hour. And it's like you wouldn't be in there with a bitch. You know what I mean?
What a,
Like,
what a bad friend.
but it might not have been one of the friends. It might have just been
All
a
right.
random girl.
All right.
So he runs in the bathroom. Obviously, you know, like, oh man, the dude did some shit, you
Mhm.
know? And so he goes in the bathroom and he's like, honey, and she's like, Dad, what are you doing here? And he's like, I heard something was wrong. What's wrong, baby? And she tells him, like, well, Cameron got a hotel and then he spent all this money to get a limo and hotel. And then I told him while we were dancing that I didn't think I was ready for tonight. And then he, said, I can't believe I wasted all my money on a stupid sophomore. And then he immediately went and hooked up with some other girl, right? You know, like crying. And then he was just explaining to her, like, yeah, dudes are pieces of shit. And then he says something. He's like, honey, he says, I swear to God. He tells her how he's like telling her, dudes are a piece of shit and you'll get through this and blah, blah, blah. And she stops crying and he like, he's consoling her and he goes, I know what it's like to be a woman now. He says that. He says, I now know what it's like to be a woman. And she's like, oh, Dad. And then they hug.
God damn.
Yeah. So
God.
after he deals with his daughter,
I feel like this movie is so close, but just like so far at the same time.
yeah,
Like,
pretty
I
much.
get what you're trying to do, but you did not hit it.
Not at all.
Yeah. The sentiment was nice, but no.
So he rushes over to Darcy's place after that,
Mm.
like, right, to make things right. And he gets to her place in the new house, and it's like late, clearly.
Mhm.
Really, he just came from the prom, so he's late. And she's like, what are you doing here? It's 1 a.m. And he's like, I had to talk to you. You know, she's like, come on up. And she invites him up and he gets to his place and she's like, oh, well, I have to move. I don't have a job, you know. And he's like, no, don't move. You need to answer your phone. This is why we've been calling you all day, to keep your job. And then he tells her everything. He's like, I stole all your ideas. It was all me. It was all your ideas. And I stole them all. And I did it to because I was afraid of you and you were better than me and all these things, right?
Mm.
And he's like, and I came over here because I know he said, I know it looks like I'm here like the hero at 1 a.m. trying to save you, but really I'm here because the truth is I need to be rescued. He says that to her, right? I swear to God, she says, well, if that's all true, you're fired. And it's like cold. And he's like, what? And she's like, I can't have you working for me.
Yeah, you
Stole
stole
all
my
my
ideas.
ideas.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he's like, wow, I kind of thought that would go differently.
Way out
Yeah.
of this-
And then he says that.
Ooh.
And then he starts walking down the stairs and then she yells at him, you're going to let a little thing like letting me fire you, get in the way of us? And then he says, she says like how, she's not going to fire you. She's going to rescue him. And then he's like, I needed you to rescue me. And then he calls her his hero and then she kisses him and it's the end of the fucking movie. That's how the movie ends.
Oh, wow. They didn't have an ending.
No ending, dog. I told you, it's not like no climax. It's just
Yeah. They didn't have an ending. It really didn't have that much of a plot. Really not that much of a plot. And it was very entertaining because that is very what the fuck.
So what the fuck kind of movie, man? It's entertaining. But yeah, I told you, they had no ending. They just wrote that movie. They knew they had Mel Gibson. They
Yeah.
were like, hey, we got to let Helen Hunt act for a couple scenes. We
Scenes.
got to let her act.
Yeah.
We paid her millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much, it was just thrown together, but I liked it.
Yeah. I mean,
liked it.
it seems fun. It is, from what you told me, it is just like, because they're trying to be like pro women. but they're just stroking this man's ego for an entire movie.
The whole movie is very
It's
pro Mel Gibson.
Very submissive. It's very like almost 1950s housewife values. Almost into like
Yeah.
move out of the way and let this man interrupt you in the women's meeting and come up with an idea that makes you think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah, he
is
kept doing
weirdly
that, too.
sexist.
And like all of his, everything he did, he just flipped out all the thoughts and like used it to his game. It was crazy, and like they never addressed that that was bad.
Right.
They just addressed that he fell in love with this woman and he felt bad about her.
Yeah. It's not the feminist movie it wants to be.
No, it tries to be.
It tries to be. Because I mean,
It's more. It's you know what though? It's more pro-feminist than other movies I've seen.
That's fair. I will give you that. That is fair. At least they're trying.
They were on the right path in the year 2000.
I mean, they're on a path. I don't know if it was the right one. Definitely not the right one, but it's a path. They at least were like, wait, let's try walking this line.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh man, what?
Women want. It's a good movie, dog.
Oh man, well, I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to hear what you have to think about.
I'm excited. This sounds like a fun movie to watch.
It's a movie. It's not fun. It's interesting. It's interesting, man. It's a very interesting movie, and I do not like it.
Okay,
I don't dislike it.
that's a review.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't dislike it, but it's still like.
And it's interesting.
And you know, I'm a very big like structure writing guy, so I'm gonna have a lot of problems.
You have
with
a lot of problems with this.
Yeah.
You have a lot of problems with
I
the
can
structure
already
of this.
tell.
Yeah, definitely.
Man. Well,
That's what women want,
All right.
everybody. Hope you enjoy that shit.
I can't wait to be back next week and talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Later.